selling physical products. Again, I started back, my very first product I sold, and this was even before Shopify was a thing, was again about 2000, I want to say about 2011. So I've been in the e-commerce space for a while. That's when I was in college. I tried to sell keychain breathalyzers.
Oh, I remember you telling me about this.
Yeah, I tried to sell keychain breathalyzers. I would import it from China. I think I found it on Alibaba. Alibaba was still a new thing, so I felt like I was one step ahead. I didn't even know you could buy wholesale. Like, this is when the internet was like, I mean, obviously the internet came out in the 90s.
Yeah.
But like these multi-billion-dollar type websites to allow you to reach out to different suppliers was just now surfacing the internet space.
Right.
So I could find keychain breathalyzers that I thought was an amazing idea because I was in college, for one.
Right.
And I could buy it wholesale, and I thought it was a different product that I could, you know, just distinguish myself in the marketplace. I think I bought like 200 or 300 of these.
Wow.
And I was just giving them out at the dorms just for people to try it out. And, you know, in college,
right,
you got a breathalyzer, people started to turn it to a game.
Yeah.
I even was also, I pitched it to my school, like their store, like my college that I went to, like where you can go and buy like.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So I pitched it to them, and they were like, yeah, let's set up a meeting. Let's talk.
Wow.
Can you bring in, they're like, we want to actually have it in our student store. That's what it was, in our student store. I was like, I'm so pumped. This is like, I got it. Like,
you're about to get retail space.
Yes, I'm about to get retail space, and they think that I know what I'm doing, but I'm over here like, I just have a whole bunch of that. I don't even have packaging.
Right.
And then we were going back and forth on our in our email, and they're like, you'll also have to show like how accurate these breathalyzers are.
Wow.
And then I'm like, that's what I don't have. I knew they were really cheap, so I knew the accuracy wasn't there, and then that like took it away. And then I tried to figure out ways to like make it more accurate, but then that just got more expensive, and then it was just like, all right, I'm going to shut this down.
Right.
So then that's when I went into like, okay, I'm going to try an app, try software. But anyways, like fast forward.
You circled back
to it in about 2016 again, back to digital products.
Physical
products. And Shopify is out there. I don't know if most of you guys don't know what Shopify is, but it's a platform where you can sell products online, create your website. But it's such a plug and play that I created my website. I think it was over like, I forgot what weekend. It was like a 3-day weekend.
Yeah.
Friday, set up the website, took, pictures of my product. By Monday, had a full running website, 100%. Done. By Tuesday, I sold my first product.
Right.
Didn't even have the product in my hand yet.
Yeah.
I only had samples. So I ordered a sample. That's a little tip for everyone. Like, don't order in bulk. Order the sample. Take a whole bunch of photos. Use that as your website. So again, MVP, we always talk about it, minimum viable product.
Right.
So I took that product. I think I only spent, my first initial inventory was about $300. Bought like 100 of them. That's
not
all.
Bad. Yeah.
And then I think I started in about October, right before Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and right before, Q4, which if anyone knows, Q4 is like, I get maybe like 40% of my total revenue in Q4.
It's huge.
It's huge. You can almost sell anything. So during that time, again, that was the first month. I think I sold 80K in 3 months. So in 3 months leading up to that, I sold 80K by December in 1 month.
Wow.
And then I was like, this is crazy. And I just kept feeding the fuel, put in the fuel.
Feed the beast.
Yeah, feed in the beast. And then it just turned into, generated about 900,000, and then all my other two brands, about 1.1 million,
right,
just again out of my apartment.
Just amazing.
And what I love about physical products is, as soon as I sold the first product, like, you already see money coming in. I wasn't profitable yet. I was profitable by month, one or two, but with the software and like that, I wasn't going to see any money. So
it's a long play.
It's a long play. So for someone who wants to start off, I highly recommend doing physical products, because you buy it, it's so simple. You buy a product for wholesale for cheap.
Right.
You sell it for a markup, and then whatever that leftover is your profit.
Right. Buy low, sell high. You have a margin in there. You make whatever that margin is. Simple as that.
Yeah.
And rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
And find new products.
And now that we have access to all these different products, I highly recommend, like, if you don't want to be like the face of a company, it's always nice to just have the product, a brand, just be this own entity, and you don't have to necessarily sell yourself anymore. And we'll get into the other ones, but that's what I love about selling physical products. And there's two different main types. Amazon FBA, if people don't really know, is like where you don't need to necessarily have a website, but you put your product on Amazon, you already have so many sellers or buyers.
Right.
And then you can, again, like, you're buying your products wholesale. They're searching for, like, let's say, like
tripods.
A tripod. Yeah. You sell tripods. They don't necessarily have to be branded. You put your product there, and if you get a lot of reviews, you'll end up top of the search, and now people are just constantly purchasing. Right. And Amazon does all the fulfillment, so they just take a portion of your sales, but
you still make a ton of money.
You still make a ton of money.
Yeah. There's a lot of people making a lot of money. Number one in e-commerce for sure, and like you mentioned, it's super quick to scale. So from barrier of entry is super low. Set up a website over a weekend, right? And that's not like cutting corners. That's literally like, because I've set up a Shopify website before, but selling physical products didn't work for me. I didn't want to go that route after probably about 3 months. So like I've been in it, but I didn't take it the route you took it. But long story short, you can legitimately set, like, I'll verify, like, 3 days to set the website up, like get a product on there, literally set up the like fulfillment, like, cycle with the supplier, and have it just on autopilot too. That's the other thing too. Like, people talk about the 4-hour work week, Tim Ferriss. Hopefully he'll be on this podcast someday. But the 4-hour work week, that's like where you literally set it and forget it, and you have stuff just, fulfilling itself. And maybe you send out emails and do some customer service, handle returns, handle, price negotiation if you're ordering in bulk, things like that. But selling physical products, I mean, it's made a lot of people a lot of money.
For sure. And I think what people need to notice when you're selling physical products is the entry to barrier. So unlike software, the entry to barrier, or the barrier to entry for physical products is so low.
Yep.
So that means a lot of competition. A lot.
Yes.
Back in 2016, you could put out any product and people will buy. It's a lot more difficult now.
Right.
What separates yourself from selling your physical products in 2016 to 2021 is you better have a brand. You better create a brand around your product, because if not, and you just have a no-name, tripod,
right?
And everyone can sell that, what's going to distinguish yourself between you and them? Because now everyone can get in that space. Everyone knows Alibaba. Right. Everyone knows how to find suppliers. So I think that's what, again, you need to always be on your toes when you're selling physical products. You have to create a brand to separate yourself. That's why people are still buying Nike products or Adidas products. There's a brand behind it.
Right.
And there's a reason why you don't buy that shirt at Walmart, for example.
Right.
And they can charge $5 for a shirt, but the brand is the same. It feels the same.
Right.
Nike's selling it for $45, $50.
Exactly.
That's what separates yourself in 2021 and above.
Right. Which is crazy how the world works like that. All branding, all product, perceived value, right? How do I perceive this hoodie because it's Lacoste? Exactly. Right? Versus like the same hoodie that's going to be at Target for $15 or something. Whereas this one's going to be like whatever, I don't know, $100. Just because there's a logo on it. Right. And that changes everything. But what you mentioned is interesting because, the whole thing that's unique about it is that you do have to separate yourself, right? You've got to be super unique. But the way that you went about talking about that is really on point, because it's like there's a lot of competition in the space, but it's who's going to be the most innovative, who's going to be the best, smartest mind to create the best brand, like you said, because you can't just do that, right? Like, it's color scheme. I mean, it's feeling, vibe. Like, Nike pays athletes like hundreds of millions of dollars to wear the shirt with the swoosh, right? Like that, like,
And when I started my e-commerce like mentorship program or coaching program, those are the people that separated the type of the students that I wanted to work with. People who wanted to get rich quick and was like, hey, what's the new trinket or new product that I could sell and make $1 million? And I'm like, we're not going to work together. This is not.
Yeah.
And then I talked to someone who's like, I want to create a brand. I want to create like lifestyle images. I want to create, find the correct influencers to promote my product. I was like, yes. Okay. That's the type of person. So I think there's a lot of misinformation sometimes out there that it's like, yeah, some people think of it as like a get rich quick, but like in the long game, you're not going to win. You're not going to win by just constantly trying to find new products and constantly sell. Like you're going to be in just a wheelhouse again of just like trying to find new products and the best products to sell. And you're going to run out of energy there.
Right. And I think this goes for like pretty much anybody, like basically if you're getting in business, you should be prepared to stay in that business and watch that business grow, make it grow for the foreseeable future, period. I mean, otherwise don't even touch it, right? Because you should be there's a lot of phrases for this that, but we'll just use this one, go all in, right? 100%, right? Put everything into it, because if you're not prepared to do that, it can start as a side hustle. That's fine. But bottom line is, if you're not ready to go the distance, then don't take the first step.
Right.
It's a waste of time. Just honestly, that's just saving people. I'm just trying to save people time,
Yeah.
So,
I want people to create a company and not just a product. Like
sure.
Create a brand, not just a product.
Sure.